Hello, this is Todd Rothstein of Great Falls Construction of Gorham, Maine. I'm here at 7 Riverview Street and wanted to give a final walkthrough of the home that we built for the Waban Projects. We completed the project in August, and this project is a special home because it not only is a energy efficient product, but also it services special needs people and populations. So I wanted to go through and just show you some of those ADA features that this home actually has. Possibly someone in your family may also have some of these needs. Maybe it'll come up in the future. So I figured, why not show you some of the things that we added to the home. Now you can see from the large house now you've got your special ramp, which requires people that may have challenges with stairs the ability to get from the ground level up to the first floor of their, at least to the front door of their home. And while you build this ramp, just keep it in mind that it has to be calculated so that somebody can travel 1 inch down or up for a 1 foot distance. So if you are 4 feet high, you have to travel 48 feet in distance, and obviously you can see how this ramp runs one way, stops, turns, runs another way, and that's all in the effort to make up that height difference from the front door to the pavement below. But before we get inside, we've shown you many of the design and construction features. So again, we'll start with some of the features that we built for special needs people. First, we have our ramp, which requires a minimum of 3 feet across so that somebody can travel in a wheelchair or comfortably from the ramp. Also, we have special handrails, which allow somebody to hold on going up or down in this situation for full travel. On the stair side, people may not need the ramp, but at least you have a handrail 3 feet distance from inside to inside space. And always the handrails either will turn down or they'll turn back into a post so that nobody gets hooked clothing in the way or there's any danger in that way. Now, what you'll notice here, different than many homes, on a home that requires special needs, you'll have what's called your first threshold, and this is an ADA threshold which only has a 1/4 inch rise from the wood floor surface to the threshold and then down to the other threshold, the other wood surface, so that somebody who maybe they can't lift their legs up as well or they have a wheelchair, that it's not too hard of a challenge to get across into the other floor. You also may notice the doorknobs, which are all handles, so that they're not knobs, so you don't need your fingers and a thumb in an operation. You can just push down or pull up and it'll access the door handle. All the other features so far in the house are all just concerns about spacing and size, so that all our openings have 3 feet of clearance, so that if someone did have a wheelchair, they'd be able to pass through easily. Our downstairs bathroom, which we've talked about in the past, as you can see, the large space inside, minimum of a 5-foot radius, so that somebody in a wheelchair can easily come in, turn about, and leave. Specialty features for people. You've got your grab bars, which we talked about a while back, which had special blocking or wood inside the walls so that these grab bars that somebody might need for assistance can be held safely, and that they could lift or help somebody with just their secure standing opportunities or seating opportunities, and they're securely mounted to the walls. We have an elongated comfort height toilet, sink, which, as you can see, has all the clearance, so if somebody with a wheelchair can roll right up under and be able to comfortably do their business. Again, another handle feature, no knobs, is the faucet, where somebody can just lift, push to open and close the water. The sink is mounted 40 inches at the bottom, 40 inches to the floor, and that's a height requirement, again, for somebody with disabilities. The shower we've seen before, and this is a shower with a seat, and you'll see at the bottom it's an easy transition from the floor of the bathroom and the floor of the shower itself, and then there is a foam or rubber gasket that'll hold shower water in, so when someone's taking a shower, of course, it doesn't spill out. And we've siliconed that, filled the openings with silicone so it doesn't fill up with water. The shower has its own grab bars. It has a hand one if somebody needed to sit in the chair, or if they were comfortable and self-sufficient, they can use the shower head as a normal shower. First floor bedroom. Typical in here, this is standard. Your light switches, handles, of course, for closets is just a pull. We've got our smoke alarm on the ceiling, and our new radiators inside to the kitchen. Now, in this opportunity here, this front panel is not typically set for a person with disabilities or a wheelchair, but this panel is just screwed on, and the whole panel can actually be removed to allow for, in the future, retrofit somebody with a wheelchair to have fully accessible access to the sink and faucets. And we're in the living room / dining room. There's a second bedroom. This is the addition, which is brand new to the building. Inside this closet is a specialty storage closet, and in here is a washer dryer set up, and that's an automatic light, so that once the door opens, as soon as the door opens, the light automatically turns on. So if somebody needs the washer and dryer, they don't need to look for the light, it just automatically takes care of itself. Now, in any home, it's required to have a second means of egress, which would be an entrance or an exit opportunity. And in this home, we have back door, which leads out to a patio and the rear of the home and a deck. Now again, this has the ADA threshold, which is a small 1/4 inch rise, so that it easily allows somebody in a wheelchair or somebody that might have a challenge in some walking. They can slide right over the one floor to the deck in an easy manner. And same as before, you've got your handrails, your spacing between of 3 feet or more. You have a 1 inch per foot drop as we go down, and then you come to, whenever you do a turn, or you have to have a 5-foot radius for somebody if they chose to turn around and not just go all the way down, but they'd be able to spin their wheelchair and then go back up into the top of the ramp. But in this case, we'll travel down another platform area for a turning radius, and then your final exit with a pathway that leads to the front of the property. And this is here just the rear of the garage with a rear door entrance. So Waban Projects services many levels of special needs clientele. So in downstairs you've got rooms for 2 people, 2 bedrooms with special needs where they're downstairs. And upstairs there's an opportunity for people that are more self-sufficient travel-wise can come upstairs, and it's going to show you around for another living space, all part of the same building and all part of the same use. In here, this will be actually an office where we've put in for data, cable, phone, electricity. And then as we travel through the hallway, you have 1 bedroom with its closet and bathroom. And in this application, so it wouldn't be a person that would use this that had the disabilities, but somebody that did just want to required some supervision. So here we were not required to put the sink at the sink at a certain height. The mirror was not required to be at 40 inches. The faucets, although those are easily usable because they're not knobs, they're not required as ADA faucet fixtures. And of course you have your shower with a tub. Obviously somebody capable of stepping up and over into the tub to take their shower or their bath if they like. It's a 2-piece surround, less opportunities for anywhere in the future, but clean fixtures. And then there's a convenient living space with a sink and a refrigerator. And this 3 windows here will overlook the river, or the #1 pond in Sanford. You have your side view windows. And in the closet, this storage closet can be obviously just storage, or it has an opportunity. We've set this up so that a person can add a washer and a dryer. It's got a fully functioning floor drain. Actually, both washers and both floors have a small drain that's connected to a sump pump in the basement. So just in the case, whenever you have a washing machine that's on a first floor, a second floor, not in the basement, you definitely want to make sure you have some sort of drain issue just in case of an accident, whether the suds get too high and the washer overflows, whether some breakage, or whether a hose gets disconnected. You want to be able to not lose everything in the house and have that drain capture as much of that overflow water as possible. Just something to think about, as more and more homes today are designed with washer and dryer setups on the first floor and not inside the basement, as was previously the design style. The home that we completed here was built with high energy efficiency in mind. As I've documented earlier, we have built this home to be wrapped with 2 layers of rigid insulation, a 1 and a 2-inch layer, glued together face to face and edge to edge, all in the name of reducing wind drafts and air drafts, penetrations, which actually challenge a house to keep it cool in the summer and warm in the winters. We've also installed the doors and windows with the highest level of construction details that we have available. As you take a look at these radiators, the heating system here is a modern gas-fired heating and domestic hot water system. These radiators are only 4.5 inches wide. They lay very flush to the walls, and they can generate enough heat to warm this home with a low temperature water boil, which is very important in saving energy. I'm going to take a look with you downstairs in the basement just to take a quick look at how we remodeled the basement, and of course the heating system itself. And downstairs, what we did around the perimeter walls, we've shown this before, we took a closed-cell spray foam, and then we installed metal tracks or studs, and we sheetrocked all of the walls, and that will insulate the perimeter foundation of the basement. We put in some new windows, 2 new windows downstairs, and removed other ones that were obsolete. Here again is this is our heating system, which is a small gas-fired unit that will heat the water to about 135 degrees. That will run through the radiators to heat the home. Now, typical radiators and oil systems run at a high temperature of about 180 degrees. So obviously, when it's required, your furnace will have to heat the water to that much higher. This does not require that, and still be able to heat this home. And this manifold are all of the heating lines that go up and down to each radiator that you saw on the walls. And this unit also not only heats the water lines for your radiators in the home, but it also can heat your hot water for your showers and your cooking, and if you had a dishwasher, it can do that as well. And of course your washer machines if you used hot water. So it's a very efficient system. It runs at about 97% effective or efficient, using the gas energy of fuels that it consumes. Most high temperature boilers run at about 87% efficient. So you can see the difference in the use of the fuel that you use. This in here, this is a sump that I was explaining to you earlier, that the washer dryers that had the floor drains will run down into this sump pump, and down there is a pump, and it'll bring the water back up if there was a challenge, and into a drain where it'll be taken away. And we also, in this basement, we put a second, this is just the actual sump bucket itself. If the owner felt that they needed a second one for flooding or future usage, they can add another pump to that as well, or Of course, they could always just have it as a positive drain, just pull water right to the bucket if need be. And this is the basement of 7 Riverview Street, all cleaned up, ready to go. And we'll just go upstairs. One last feature I don't want to overlook. When you have a home that is so well insulated and secured, it's important they have the opportunity for the home to actually bring in air in a controlled manner. And what we have here, this is what's called a return air system made by Panasonic. And it actually has ductwork that is outside. It'll pull air from the home out, and then it'll cross with new air that's coming into the home. The exchange tempers the cold air that might come in during the winter and bring it back into the house. So when you have a home that's well secured like this because of all the insulation and because all of the window and door construction techniques, you still want to have fresh air coming inside so that the home properly breathes. And by having a unit upstairs, and there's also a unit downstairs, you'll have a healthy environment inside. And that's what we really do. At Great Falls Construction, the most important thing that we can do is try to manage the environment. We cannot control it. You have your hot days, your cold days, you have rainy days, and you have windy days, and everything in between. And so what our job is, as construction managers and builders, is to build environments that we manage all of the exterior elements and keep the interior at a controlled and comfortable temperature for the people that are inside. Whether it's a residential home like this, or it's an office space in Portland or so on. So again, this is Todd Rothstein, Great Falls Construction of Gorham, Maine, thanking you for your patience and checking in and watching what we do.